Welcome back to Showcase. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the original 4 rescue bots, Boulder, Heatwave, Blades, and Chase. But before we get started, big thanks to KLB Official for requesting this video. If you have any requests, leave them down in the comments and I'll try and get to all of them. For weapons, or in this case rescue equipment, Boulder has his drills, Heatwave's ladder can come out and be used as a water cannon, Blades doesn't have any weapons but his visor can come down, and Chase has his arm cannons. Moving on to transformations, starting with Boulder, lay him flat, bring the head in, bring the drills around, bring the legs up, and we have Boulder in his bulldozer mode. Next up, Blades, lay him flat, head in, arms in, legs in, cockpit out, bring the rotor around and tail rotor out, and we have Blades in his helicopter mode. Next, Chase, lay him flat, head in, arms in, bring the roof around, hood up, legs up, and finally bring the wheels out, and we have Chase in his police car mode. Finally, Heatwave, lay him flat, head in, arms into place, cab out, legs up, wheels out, extend the ladder, and we have Heatwave in his fire truck mode. Moving on to the lore I've written for them in my series, Siege World. All 4 of these bots were forged not long before the Fourth Great War. Boulder was a construction bot. He had a gentle spark, so when the war started, he chose not to enlist. Chase was a police bot. He was very by the books, but unlike a lot of others, he had a softer side, often letting younger bots off with warnings instead of present time. Blades was originally meant to be a military bot, but it turns out that if your air support has a fear of heights, they're not very effective. So after that, High Command discharged him. After that, he worked on overcoming his fears. Heatwave was a firefighter, a dying profession in Cybertron's long period of peace. Many in his crew thought he'd go on to lead his own, but he preferred to follow orders rather than give them. All 4 of their paths would come together when the war began. Because of the long period of peace, many bots weren't equipped mentally or physically for frontline combat. So the Autobot Council created a new unit, Search and Rescue. Their job was to enter battlefields after the fighting and recover survivors. Boulder, Chase, Blades, and Heatwave were some of the first to join this unit, with Heatwave being placed in command of their squad, despite his initial reluctance. Throughout the war, the Search and Rescue unit saved countless bots, with Heatwave and his squad being one of the most effective in the entire unit. Despite a few close calls with Decepticons, they managed to survive the war. After the war, Heatwave and his squad formed their own private Search and Rescue team, bringing in a few new recruits. And when the First Combiner War began, they continued their work, operating independently. But as it always goes, eventually, their luck ran out. While searching for a missing group of Autobots, they instead found the Decepticons those bots had been sent to eliminate. The Decepticons' Combiner commander, Bruticus Maximus. He opened fire on one of the recruits, but Chase dove in front, taking the shot. The rest of the team attempted to retreat, but another recruit fell behind, and Blades flew back to get him. He grabbed the recruit and managed to get him inside the ship, but Blades himself was shot before he could get inside. Heatwave started the engine and began to take off, but Bruticus Maximus grabbed the ship, holding them down. Boulder would launch himself out of an airlock, landing on Bruticus's face, and managed to blind him in one optic before being killed. Heatwave followed, launching himself in an escape pod directly into Bruticus Maximus, detonating on impact. The blast freed the ship, allowing the remaining recruits to escape. On Siege World, all 4 of them separately continued their rescue work, each forming their own version of the rescue bots. Over time, they've grown into one of the largest factions on the planet. And with their ever-growing expansion, they seem to be on track to reunite soon. And that's the rescue bots. So far these guys don't have any recolors, but I do plan on doing some in the future. If you liked the video, maybe give it a like, maybe even subscribe, because next time we're going to be taking a look at another popular request, and probably one of the biggest videos I've done and will do for a while, Revenge of the Fallen Devastator. So stay tuned.